In they go. It's another drug lab, isn't it? There's another kid there. Don't shoot!
I move a muscle.
Goodness sakes. Why is something... And there's shots! Goodness sakes! What the hell happened?
Victor Charlie 55 status 0. Officer seriously wounded.
Wait, is that the... Oh wait, he was shot!
Stay with me, Danny, stay with me.
And that's that other guy. That's the whole it's time, am I right? He's dead, isn't he? Oh my god. Okay guys, hello. Before we get started, I just want to say I'm so freaking sorry it's been ages. I will talk to you at the end of the video as to where I've been and what I've been doing. I just want to keep this as short as possible at the start of the video to get straight into the reaction. But a quick warning, it has been a long time since I watched a show. Something massive happened with my computer and it's been really difficult to sort out. But I'm watching it again now. It's been, I think, at least maybe even a month since I watched the last episode. I've tried to sort of recap myself as much as possible. I probably should have just watched the last episode again last night. But there's a recap anyway, but I just want to let you guys know that if I'm a bit quieter, if I'm not pausing it much, or if I'm pausing it more to talk about what's going on, it's because I'm completely like, you know, I'm basically revisiting it all again. But anyway, that's all I've got to say, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get straight into it.
Danny!
Recap done. Did he survive? I'm just trying to think, man. All I will say this, imagine he shot himself. I don't think that's, like, very likely, especially being as where he's been shot, but, like, being as they're on his tail now, that would be, like, the most mastermind thing, would be to shoot yourself to keep AC-12 off your tail, so we think, oh my god, actually, he's innocent. You know? We've seen how meticulous it can be, so I'm just saying, that could be a possibility. He's gonna survive. He'll survive. Time to ring AC-12. Corruption continued.
Sign this radio.
Oh, can I just say one more thing as well? Do you remember when I said that I was worried that someone was going to pin something on Kate? Because, like, you know, they sort of mentioned that it's really dangerous that she's there. And I started mentioning that if they're willing to do that thing, imagine they try and pin something on her. Because he's already spoken out that he doesn't like her. Imagine this is some... Oh, I don't know. I'm over-theorizing now, but...
Pronounced life extinct 0834.
Wait, hold on a
Thanks,
second.
everybody. Sorry about that.
Did he just die? Wait, so he's just died? Really? No way. I thought he was going to be some sort of big, long-standing character.
By the time I got upstairs, not one of you was giving Danny first aid.
Why would there be a struggle?
What did Danny say to
Exactly.
you?
Why were none of them there? Does she want to tell him that? That's the question. I wouldn't.
You sent back, come up here, Skipper.
You
I'll have to have
see?
the recording.
Well, you were back to back on
Wow.
two, so there is no recording.
Exactly.
Stop!
What was that about? Why was he calling him
Do
up?
me head in. Danny Waldron shot himself, sir.
Danny put the gun to his
Shot
own
himself.
head.
Nah, come
We were trying
on.
to help him.
But we
Although-
couldn't get the gun off him and...
To be fair, I did say, like... I did sort of say that potentially that was going to happen because he left a letter for Stephen Arnott with the names and stuff. And I sort of said, what if he shot himself? But I thought it would be some meticulous plan to, like, you know, pull the police off of him. But literally, what if this was his suicide? I don't know if I believe that, though, because they sort of say that there was a struggle, they tried to stop him. But why did they radio him up in the first place?
It appears the fatal shot was fired in a position close to Sergeant Waldron's chest and aimed upwards.
That does sound like a suicidal
sir.
shot, doesn't it?
Now, forensics detected firearms residue on your hands, Victor Charlie 54. On the hands of your mates, Victor Charlie 52.
Is that because they were trying to stop the gun,
53.
though? Is that because they were
So-
trying to stop the gun?
Was Danny coercing you into corroborating his version of events? The tape...
So they're still lying
I'm
for him,
referring
even
to
though
a
he's dead.
transcript
So
of
what
an
the hell
interview
does that
with
mean?
you on May 21st.
We were trying to save him, not hurt him.
Danny Waldron killed himself, sir. That's the honest truth.
Why though?
I don't know.
Give
Why
him
would
back
he
his
kill himself
firearms
before
license.
his
He was
list is
operational
done?
again.
In my view, you failed to give a plausible account of the events leading up to the death of Sergeant Daniel Waldron, and therefore I am arresting you on suspicion of his murder. Now, you don't have to say anything.
Okay, really good place to pause, guys. Basically what's happened is Danny's died, which I didn't expect. I thought he would survive this and be some sort of like long-standing character. He's actually dead now. So there's a massive problem in the sense that nothing from his perspective can be recalled. But there are a few things that I will say that make this a bit strange. Now, one, we had this situation in the past episode when he was hurting people or killing people and it seemed like it was in some relation to his past or his childhood. He sort of said, like, you don't remember me, do you? And I feel like he was a kid when it may have happened. Now, whether that was something to his mother, which I'm going to say it probably is something that happened to his mother, that he maybe witnessed or he knew happened, but he couldn't do anything about it, and then he went into this sort of profession so that he one day could do something about it, and then does take justice into his own hands. But then he's got this massive long list, right? So, like, you'd think that this was like the sort of finish this and then it's over. But he sort of crosses off a couple names. He gets a few of them done. Then he letters it up and basically gets it ready for Arnott. Is that him basically not finishing the list? Because then that would then imply that potentially he did go to his death, or he did go and he wanted to die, right? But it's just, for me, that seems a bit strange. Like, why would he half finish it and then go to die? And why would he go to die in that sense? Like, if it's a suicide, you'd think, like, suicide, you'd think that you probably want to die in a much more emotional way. This was, like, brutal. He was shot in the neck. I don't know, man. Like, so that whole thing is just strange to me as to whether actually it is a suicide. They're sort of saying that he shot himself, but I kind of don't think that happened. I don't know, man. And why call him up there? That's the thing that's getting me. Why the hell call him up there? I don't know for the life of me. But the point is, he's now dead, he's been shot, and this sort of inconsistencies don't sort of add up. They claim there's gun residue on all their hands, like they were holding the gun. Either that means they forced it on him, or he shot himself and they were trying to stop him. None of them tried to give him any sort of aid or physical aid, which is a huge sign that whatever happened was sort of planned, and potentially, whether it was planned by Danny or whether it was planned by them, it's either way, it's got some sort of reason for them not to administer, first aid. Like, they can't sort of explain why they called him up there and all of that nonsense. Like, what the hell is that all about? I'm trying to think of how this could link to the other cases, and did anyone else know about his hit list? Or does someone that knows about the hit list basically get a hit on him? Was there a hit on him that sort of, like, obviously, like you said, corruption in the police? Did someone have a hit on him? I don't know. We know that one guy got a text and that whole situation happened, but right now there's so little details surrounding why or what could be happening. They all seemed against working in corruption for him in the last one, so I don't think it's going to be the same. Personally, I think that they plotted against him. I don't think it's suicide. Wait, so is this Danny's house?
Check upstairs.
They're gonna find the letter, aren't they? So they're basically looking into his background, and they're gonna find. Oh my god! But then isn't all that stuff gonna support the suicide notion? See, it does say Stephen Arnott. Oh.
I've got a firearm in here. No one enter.
Imagine they start
I
suspecting.
really need someone firearms trying to make safe.
Yeah. And I think that was what he was gonna. Dot!
Yeah, all yours, Joseph.
Why? Imagine Dot's name was on that list. I know that sounds kind of like, once again, jumping to conclusions, but why else would he take it? When is he gonna get caught? He is so dodgy, it's not even funny.
And this?
What was in it?
Nothing.
Lie.
An envelope with nothing inside.
Absolute
That's what the
lie.
report says. Well, as Kate's undercover's on my side of the line, is there any probs if I look after liaison?
Dot, man, he will have something to do with something. He always does.
Oh, thanks for the drink.
Thanks, Alan.
Night, Dot.
Night.
I do not like Dot, man. I tell you, I think he could be likable, but his... Whoa! Dot! His motives are so dark and horrid, man. Wow, oh my god. He really did torture him, didn't he?
Call for forensic deployment. Keep checking for other casualties. Sir?
Oh my god, has he been to... Where's his head?
There's evidence of prolonged torture. Cause of death isn't clear.
My
Cut
god.
his head off, can't have helped.
Can I just say, guys, I really badly want to theorize about Dot and what he could have to do with this, because why the hell? Like, obviously, like, right, if he didn't have any connection to this case, he wouldn't take the list. He just wouldn't. It wouldn't make any sense, right? We know he had an issue in the first case with Gates. We know we had a thing in the second case with Tommy, and now we know he's having potentially a thing in this case. But what? And why is he continuously getting connected into these underground things like this?
Yes, Arnott.
Oh, that's right, here we go, the storage facility, to figure out what he left, because they say that he left something for them, right? Because imagine it's the head. Imagine it's the head. Yo, what did I say? What did I say? It's gonna be the head, isn't it? Yep. Wow. So that's his head.
Oh, must have made
Oh
a
my
right
god.
The cause of death was internal hemorrhaging due to a pelvic fracture. No prints of fibers were found on the implements or the body.
Can I just say, did that mean that did they just say, I bet you someone or a bunch of people raped his mum, or did something to his mum, or someone in his family, because he's just, you don't remember it, or even him, you know. But I feel like it's gonna be because he didn't. They just say this guy died because he used an object to, you know, what's it? That's disgusting. This is a revenge act, you can tell, and then it felt to me like there wasn't like an ending. He didn't want to get out of this. It wasn't like, oh my god, after this I need to cover it up. Doesn't look like he's not trying very hard to cover it up, is he? I don't think he cares about that, or he cared about that at all.
How is he? Is he okay?
They don't know yet.
Very sorry, miss. A few days ago, Daniel Waldron was killed in the line of duty.
Wow. Bro, what's with the ominous music? I don't need that right now. She's having an emotional moment. Although, maybe I should be quiet.
My lady, the prosecution applies for public interest immunity in order that Detective Sergeant Arnott be exempted from
my god. Mrs. Jones? Doctor Who? Is you not supposed to watch Doctor Who, or is it just me like acting absolutely fangirling, fanboying?
Some of this evidence was the subject of the defendant's successful appeal to be retried for her original convictions.
Wait, hold on a second.
The application is refused.
Wait, hold on a second. Was that about Denton? Oh my god. Oh my god. She's trying to get a retrial. I've got goosebumps. I've got goosebumps. I didn't think she would be back. So she's trying to get out of it all because of the undercover investigation that Arnott did that was basically unjust, right?
Yeah, you're right, girlfriend.
Wow. Of all things, that's probably a bad thing to be celebrating. I'll admit. I don't think I should be as happy about that because I'm pretty sure that's a bad thing. That, like, she's trying to get out of the charges. I think I heard that right. That they're asking for retrials, right? Again and again and again. And then basically AC-12 is losing that fight because they're saying that Arnott conducted an unjust undercover job. Is that what that is? I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So she's trying to get out of it. Whoa.
Yes.
Dude.
Former Detective Inspector Lindsay Denton.
How did that make its way to the defendant's bedroom?
I carried it up for her.
Why?
Wow.
I was carrying out an undercover operation.
They're gonna play
to
that
investigate
card.
the defendant.
And
What?
after you carried the case belonging to the
let's be
defendant-
honest, now that we look at this, there's a lot that they can go wrong in this situation, isn't there? I'm just looking at this now, right? Potentially the investigation wasn't just. The way the bag got there wasn't via Denton, it was through Arnott. It wasn't actually even Denton. I don't even think there's actually any direct link that Denton had that money in the first place. It was with her mother, which would then imply that, well, Denton could fool the argument, I didn't know about the money. Unless you can prove that she did. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's actually a pretty damn good defense here, even though we know she did it. Holy guacamole.
You did record in your pocketbook every time you stayed with the defendant.
He
No.
didn't. Oh my
I was
god.
undercover.
And he's got a
She just need to
history
look
as
at it, she
well.
would have found out what was
He's
up
got a
there.
history.
What were you
That's
doing
what
with
they're
the
gonna
defendant
spin.
until 3 or 4
Oh my
in the
God.
morning? Would a sexual relationship be acceptable during an undercover operation?
Off the
Under
limits, right?
current guidelines, no.
If someone was undercover, would they be allowed to do illegal drugs and have sexual relationships with a criminal or someone of interest? Because some of the closest ways you can get closest to people is to prove your loyalty, right? I feel like a sexual relationship is one of them. And the ability to do illegal things, right? So would that then mean that it would be in the best interest of the undercover operation for them to, you know... And I was thinking about this and I can't remember what I researched. I think I researched that it wasn't allowed. But maybe now some of it has been? Or is it completely off the table? I don't know, man. I don't know. But the point is that Arnott's now being sort of... Well, they're basically suspecting him of doing things he shouldn't have been with Denton. Which I was worried about because of his history with... not really someone who's involved, but, you know, we've seen it before with Arnott. He's had relationships with people that are a little too close to the case for our liking.
Who found the cash?
A forensic search team.
Led by whom?
Arnott. Great.
Me.
This is horrible news.
Right, bud. Give a bloke some peace, will you?
This is getting out of hand. We need to talk.
See?
Yeah?
Oh.
Figure out a place and a time.
My God.
Cells in the mouth that match
Oh, really?
Waldron's DNA.
Cells?
Wait, what?
Semen cells.
Oh.
Chop a head off.
My God.
Well, you did right to question Waldron's private life. Never had the man pegged as a homosexual.
Not sure that's necessarily true, sir.
I don't think he was. I think this is a revenge act. I've already said this again and again.
The unredacted file on Ronan Murphy.
I need this job.
She was going to say something.
I need my pension. People are putting two and two together.
Imagine he ends up dead next because of
Danny
that.
managed to say something.
Because the truth makes us sound guilty, and we're not guilty, are we?
What do you mean you're not
It
guilty?
was us or him, wasn't it?
Oh
wasn't us.
my God. So he did it. Well, here we go. Here's Denton. We get to see how her life has been. Okay, so basically now we've sort of it's confirmed in a sense. Like I suspected, it was not suicide. It didn't look like suicide, and they said it was us or him. The other guy, what's his name? They sort of said it was you who did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, and it feels like everyone else is just involved. But the thing is, they all held the gun. They all stopped. They all forced the gun. So maybe he went in there. The one guy reacted, and they all tried to, I don't know, like an unnecessary scuffle. Like I said, I feel like some people have gotten to this and they're so deep to the point where they can't get out of it. But I think one person, particularly the other guy, like they've just sort of outlined, he's the one that's suggesting this. Where did the text come from as well? You know that redhead lady? I have a feeling it's going to have something to do with her. But yeah, it feels good that we've got a little bit of clarity around the situation, that it didn't look like suicide. It looks like it's something that's definitely been planned, like I said before. And they're starting to crack. Now, I've sort of said that, like, what if more people start dying? Because they've sort of said, like, it seems to me like it's a thing about silence or keeping quiet about stuff. What if one begins to crack, they end up dead? I would not be surprised at all. You know how many dead bodies we've had already? I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
I had nothing to do with the murder of Tommy Hunter.
The one thing I will say that's allowing me to feel a little bit conflicted is the fact that she did try and turn away and say, stuff this, I'm not doing this. Which means there was that decency there. So, like I said, that's why I felt so conflicted as to whether to not like her at the end of it. Because it was like, she went through with it, but it was all for reasons that she had to do for her mother, right? So even the motive behind it was decent. Not the act wasn't decent, but the motive behind it. And at the last minute, she decided, even with all the things that she needed, to not want to do it. So there's huge conflict in my mind as to what to feel about her. But the point is that it ended up happening anyway.
Had you ever seen these banknotes
She's
before?
going to say no.
Never.
What did
How
I
did
say?
you react? I was astonished.
See, my point
Devastated.
is that's a perfectly sound
Confused.
argument. Did you have sexual
Did
relationships?
Steve Arnott engage in sexual relations with you?
And she's going to say yes, am I right?
Yes.
Wow.
On how many occasions?
Oh my
Once.
God.
And as a
I don't
police
believe
officer,
her for a second. Planting evidence is what they're getting at. So
With
she's
access to
she's
your
trying
late
to act like
mother's-
she's been betrayed by Arnott, and that he was supposed to be, well, he was undercover. Well, he shouldn't have been undercover, and there were sexual relationships, and he planted evidence. Really? How is that actually going to be admissible? Because, like, what evidence do they have for that? I know that they've got circumstantial evidence, but they don't have anything solid or concrete that proves that any of that is true. No more than they have proving that she's guilty, you know. That's what I'm saying. There's like a completely balanced argument. But the problem is, with court cases, it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. So if they can doubt that she did anything, they can't put her in prison. I say this again, I have some sympathy for her because she did try and stop it from happening. But it was beyond her knowledge that she wasn't in control. You know, so that's the thing that does frustrate me. Was his body found?
Oh, God.
Oh my God. What did I say about dying? I knew it. Oh, and that's been staged.
Who's in charge?
Make sure they check how he died first. Because if he hasn't died from asphyxiation, then he was put there afterwards. Wait, has she gone to see him?
We need to talk.
No way.
Jackie, it's late.
What did I say about Kate potentially being in danger as well? Because it seems to me like whoever he is going after, anyone that's cracking. Kate's trying to convince them to crack.
Something happened between me and Danny.
What happened between you and Danny?
Oh, did they have a thing?
It was a one-night thing.
He's like...
And that's when Rod went through.
He annoys me as much...
Rod grabbed Danny's gun.
Wow!
The two of them started wrestling with it.
Oh, I reckon it was the other way
Victor
round.
Charlie 5-3.
Do you remember earlier,
tried to
guys,
get
when
it
I
off.
said that I bet you he made the move first and the other two tried to stop it? That's why their hands are on the gun? That's what I thought. I reckon... Oh my god. Oh my god. And now he's trying to spin it on the dead man.
You are now declaring that PC Rod Kennedy killed Sergeant Daniel Waldron.
Which is
Yes.
a change in story. That's why they got to meet. Blame the dead man.
One mistake and you keep making me pay.
AC-12 went for it.
Yeah.
Don't be modest. I heard you played them like violins.
Did I mention previously that I thought that potentially he was being threatened as well? Because he's always... Because he's got family, kids and stuff, why would he risk it? You know, so that's... Oh my god, imagine. Patrick Fairbank. Should I know that name? Wait, hold on a
Somebody
second.
else
Give me
could
one
take-
second. Let me read that again.
Tommy Hunter.
Oh! Tommy Hunter's name's on there. He was going after Tommy. He went after Tom. Oh my god. She is so smart, it's freaky.
I had no prior knowledge of the operation.
Because that connects him, surely, right? Look at his face. Okay, guys, that is into that reaction. Another pretty solid episode. One that's pretty full, well, really full, to be honest, of drama and lots going on. Now, basically, long story short, I think the first thing to talk about is that whatever's going on with Danny in that situation, people are being silenced. And I've spoken about this in the reaction that I kind of worry for Kate because she's constantly, and I mean constantly, trying to convince these people to say something, to do something, you know? What if she gets stuck in a situation like that? That's what worries me because she's currently in a situation where that could easily be a possibility. But ultimately, what's-his-face was murdered. We know he was murdered, and the last two standing, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, but the last two standing, they've now planned to sort of blame everything on him and say that he's the one who killed Danny and we're completely innocent when we know that is completely and utterly not the case. The only one I think that's specifically guilty of doing it is that the Indian guy. The other ones, the girl even, I don't even think she wanted that to happen. But the thing is I think she feels so stuck in the situation to the point where she has to comply. That's the issue. Scared of trying to get out of it. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, guys, which is another massive reveal, is that Denton's case has been reopened again. So whatever happened with her and that whole situation has been reignited, and she's back. But yeah, she's trying to fight off this court case and fight off Arnott and basically spin the story that Arnott was sexually involved with her, it was an unjust undercover investigation, it was planted evidence, and all this whatnot, and she's acting to do it. I kind of thought, like, she's so intelligent, is her story going to be over? And I thought in last season that it was done. I honestly thought it was done, but she's back. And she's fighting this even more. Now, the question is a big plot twist going to be her getting out? Wouldn't that be a sting and a half? Could they even get any more evidence to put her away for this afterwards? I don't think they could now. So they have to rely on everything they've already got. And if it's not good enough to last in court, she may get out. And then what? You know, I don't imagine she's going to be doing anything dodgy after the fact. Surely not. She'll be squeaky clean, I imagine, after this. So this is like a matter of we have to get her, and we have to get her before this goes south. Now, the other thing that's gone on, guys, which is another massive, massive reveal at the end of this, is that Tommy Hunter was connected to Danny. He was on his hit list, right? Now, my bet is, like I said, is that I kind of thought that maybe Tommy could have been connected to, oh, goodness gracious me, what's her name? Jackie Laverty, that's right. Maybe somehow to her, and maybe this is a continuation of what happened in that situation, and that whole mob, and the gang, and everyone that was involved. But I actually think it goes further back. I think this goes a long way back, potentially to his childhood, and potentially maybe with his mother, or I think it's going to be a mother, and something that happened to him when he was younger, and he saw something, and that's why there's this weird MO of torturing and raping people even. So it's definitely one of those ones where you're like, this is revengeful. And all these people on this, there's a lot of people as well, a lot of people involved for whatever. Is it just all the people that wronged him or something, all the people that wronged maybe his mother, I don't know. But the point is Tommy was on that list, Dot saw that Tommy was on that list, and Dot burnt the list before anyone could see it. Now, my bet is that because that directly reopens a situation with Tommy, and then that directly exposes Dot again, because we know he's been involved. And could he have been involved in this Danny situation? He's always been that unknown person in all these circumstances, so could he have been involved somehow? I doubt he would have been involved in the original act, but the fact that he was involved with Tommy just means that he wants AC to have to completely avoid anything about reopening that case, because we know it's unsolved. But yeah, so that's another big reveal, guys, and I think the next biggest thing is just trying to figure out what happened and why Danny died and the whole situation. We know that Danny had his own demons, but he wasn't ready to die at that point in time. Who killed him? We know. We think it's that Indian guy. We've heard it's that Gotbun guy. Why specifically? We heard that he was being threatened. Who by? Is it someone even bigger than Tommy in this situation? And how is that going to go on to affect the rest of the season? But yeah, I don't have any new theories. Unfortunately, this episode was... I think it's mainly because it's the first one back for me in a long time. I feel kind of like not sure what to think about it. So unfortunately, no new theories. I think the theories will start rolling in the next 1 or 2 episodes about what did happen and what I predict for the suspects and all that whatnot stuff, guys. The only thing I am theorizing is that Denton's going to get out on technicalities, and then it's going to be some big thing in a future season, or I don't know. It just feels a bit strange to like bring her back and then be like, nah, you failed to persuade the jury, you know? I feel that would be a little bit weird, so I feel like she's going to be a huge character to play ongoing. But yeah, anyway, I promised you guys before I go that I'd tell you where I've been and the situation with no uploads, especially with Line of Duty. It's been at least 3 to 4 weeks since the last one. Now the reason being is because my computer had major issues, like literally almost right after I posted the last one. The computer just started overheating and not working properly, and it would corrupt videos, and that was just really bad. I think you guys would have seen quite a few times actually. My videos would end up corrupted, or I'd have to commentate on it, and I just got kind of sick of all the issues. That's actually the main reason I didn't react to Daredevil, because of the very first episode got completely corrupted. So my point is that like a lot was going on. I needed to get it repaired, and I took it to get repaired, and it took ages for them to sort it out. Freaking ages. And when they finally did, they said, hey look, it's got issues, and being as I had the special insurance product care thing, they sort of said, what do you want to do? Do you want to repair it? Blah, 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 blah. I chose to replace it and upgrade it to Hefty Boy over here. Which, mind I say, is significantly better. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's way more advanced, it runs the software way better. I'm also using this new camera, if you guys didn't notice, which I think is great. And yeah, so lots of things have been going on, and we finally got this back, and we finally had time to react. This video or reaction could have been out a bit sooner. I could have reacted to this a bit sooner, but I had a list of things I needed to do first, including obviously all my stuff with university, but then I've got the videos that came out before, so I had the Killing, Jessica Jones, Doctor Who ones, I think, or Luton Town ones. There was a lot on my plate, guys, and this was unfortunately the last one that needed to come back, but it's back now. We're up to episode 3 of Line of Duty Season 3, so yeah, I'm just excited to get cracking again. But yeah, anyway guys, that's all I really have to say. I hope you guys accepted my apology about why I've been gone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. Also, don't forget to follow that Instagram, British Chat with 2Ps, link in the description below. All updates go on there, so you will know when there are going to be breaks or if there are issues. You don't really hear that on the YouTube channel, but on the Instagram, it's always there, so definitely go and give that a follow, guys. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode, guys. What did you think about the whole reaction in general and the episode, and also, most importantly, Denton returning and the whole situation with Tommy Hunter? Let me know down below, guys, if you have to get some discussion going. But anyway, that's all I gotta say, guys. As ever, this has been your boy, British Chat. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.
He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. Now leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.